What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. It's for Warframe again. This time it's going to be for a Smeeta Kavat. So this is my Smeeta Kavat. It does have a skin. If you're curious, I'll just show you that in a moment. But I just wanted to go over the Smeeta Kavat build that I use because I just went over how to get Kavat genetic codes in last week's video. So basically, once you get the codes, once you make the Kavat, you're just gonna want to get it as good as you possibly can. Um, the main thing about the Kavat is the charm mod, but you still want it to survive. You still want to do a little bit of damage. You still want it to be more useful than just the charm mod. So before I get into the build, I'll just go ahead and show you the pattern that I'm using. It's called Moonless Kavat pattern. I personally like this one best for the Smeeta Kavat because honestly, the Smeeta Kavat looks horrible. It looks very bad. So, I mean, I guess it's not the worst, but I'm not a huge fan of it. If you like it, that's great. You won't feel the need to get a skin. I personally don't like it, but there are other skins. There's little patterns that'll change. Um, I would personally go with the Moonless Kavat pattern just because it looks the coolest. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the build. So the build is pretty straightforward because most companions use most of this. Um, the Smeeta, it's a good pet, so you want it to be as good as possible. The downside of that is you need at least 8 formas. Yes, you are putting 8 formas into one pet. It does suck, and if you're not willing to do that, then take it down to like 4 to 6. You could still make it work. It's going to be less effective. So um, I start with Metapet Kit. It's a pretty good mod. Plus 6 heal rate a second, plus 72% bleed out reduction at max. It's not a necessity, so if you're taking down the formas, you don't need it. It's nice, but you don't need it. Um, Next is Link Armor. This isn't maxed for me. I need more endo and more credits. As you can see, I'm pretty low on credits. Um, but currently it's at plus 80% armor link. Uh, this this mod is, I'd say it's a necessity. You need to fit it in. So if you're lowering the amount of formas and you really don't care about your companion, at least get link armor and link health. Um, Again, my health link as well is not maxed. It's almost there, but it's not quite maxed. Link health is going to be your most important because you need your Smeeta to survive. So link health is a necessity as well. These two you need to make sure to have. So link armor, link health, just make sure you fit those in. I use Tech Assault. Kavat has 60% chance to ignore lethal damage and be immune for 4 seconds. Mark a 6-meter zone every 45 seconds that inflicts 100 damage a second to enemies. This is a fun mod. It is also a rather good mod because it makes it to where your Kavat is taking less damage and they have a chance to ignore lethal damage. And it makes them immune. So I guess they're not, taking less damage, but overall, because of all this, they're technically taking less damage because they're not dying. They're not, taking damage when they're immune. As well as they're doing extra damage to enemies. It's not a lot, but they're doing extra damage. So Tech Assault's a fun one. It's not a necessity. I really like it. I think you should try to fit it in if you can. But that's my opinion. You don't have to. You don't have to fit this in if you don't want to. Um, Link shields. It's less of a necessity than Link armor and Link health. Mine isn't maxed. It's actually only at rank 6, so I'm only getting plus 70% shield link. Um, but it's really not a big deal. You you could fit it. I mean, you're gonna be able to max all of these, and it will fit in the tree at 8 forma. But you don't need link shields if you decide you don't want to go for the 8 forma. I know it's hard to want to put 8 forma into a companion, but if you want your companion to be good, it needs the 8 forma. Um, so moving on to the most important mod for the Smeeta Kavat. The whole reason to run a Smeeta Kavat is Charm. If you do not have this mod on your Smeeta Kavat, it's a waste of a Smeeta Kavat. Make sure to have Charm. Smeeta Kavat has a 28% chance every 27 seconds to bestow its owner with good fortune. So this gives you more loot. So you're using the Smeeta Kavat as a resource farmer. That's its main purpose. The rest of it's just kind of like extra. I mean, if it's doing damage, great. If it's not really taking a lot of damage, great. But the whole reason to have a Smeeta Kavat, and I will not be able to stress this enough, is the Charm mod. This is the entire reason to use a Smeeta Kavat. There are other pets that are really cool and fun to use. Like I actually like the Vasca Kavat. It it's a fun companion. Um, but I also like the Helmet Charger a lot. That's a really fun companion. Um, so if I could, I would use one of those. I wouldn't be using the Smeeta Kavat. I really don't like the Smeeta Kavat. The whole reason that I use it is for the Charm mod. If you are not using the Charm mod, go use a different pet. There's no reason to use the Smeeta Kavat over another pet without the Charm mod. So make sure you have the Charm mod on. If not, you are wasting the potential of the best companion in the game. So I hope I got that through to you. um, it is the most important mod. Let's go ahead and move on to Tech Enhance. Plus 30% Kavat ability duration. And of course the Marka 6-meter zone that inflicts 100 damage a second to enemies. This is really good. If you're running Tech Assault, you might as well run Tech Enhance. But again, you can do without it. You don't need it. So that's up to you though. You make your own decision on that. I personally think you should take it. But again, it's your choice. Bite. This companion mod is actually really insane, and I try to fit it on every companion I have. At max, it's plus 330% critical chance and plus 220% critical damage. Your pet doesn't do a ton, but that that in itself is insane. I mean, it's a good damage boost. So I would try to get a rank 10 of that, and I would try to fit it onto your Kavat. You don't need it if you really don't care about the damage of your pet, and you just have it there for the charm mod. Completely ignore that. You don't need it. I personally wanted my pet to be more useful than just the charm mod. That's why I have 8 formas in it, and I have it basically have everything here. Um, so the bite mod is up to you. There are other damage mods you could take, like I believe Maul. Yeah, Maul. So Maul is just I think it ends up being like plus 300 something percent melee damage. Um, you could take that. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you don't have bite and it is an expensive mod, take Maul. You know, it's the same thing. Well, it's not the same thing, but it's going to add damage. Like it has the same purpose. That's what I meant. So it has the same purpose. So if you don't have bite, or you just decide, you know what, bite's too expensive, just take Maul. Maul's still a great mod. I do think if you have it at rank 10 though, you have them all at rank 10, it does end up being the same cost as bite. So it's up to you. You can choose either of those. I would mostly not take bite if I didn't have it. Um, bite is is a pretty expensive mod, so it's worth taking Maul over Bite if you don't already have Bite. But that being said, that's really your main damage thing is either Bite or Maul. So we'll go ahead and move on to Animal Instinct. I do not have primed Animal Instinct, but I do suggest if you do have it to use it, max it out, and it'll give you more loot radar and more enemy radar. I don't think Animal Instinct is a necessity, but I would try to fit it in, even if you don't do the 8 formas. I would try to fit it in. It's a good mod. Um, I I would say it's worth trying to fit it in. If you really feel like you don't need it, take something else. Um, Maybe take Maul and Bite if you feel like Animal Instinct isn't needed. But I've done quite a bit of research, and most companion builds run Animal Instinct. I cannot, I can't tell you 100% why, because I'm not 100% sure. It's just supposed to be really good. Um, I mean, I guess loot radar and enemy radar, it's helpful, but in my opinion, it's not a necessity. It's just something that you fit in if you can. That's just my opinion. Use your own opinion on this. Um, you know, if you can think of like a better way to do this, you either pick Maul instead of Animal Instinct or Maul instead of Bite. Just let me know because I'm always curious to see what people are doing. Um, and then for the final one, it's Fetch. This is really nice, and it only used to be the robots that kind of hover above your shoulder. It used to only be for them, where you would have essentially your pet would be gathering for you. It was it was really useful, and it was the main reason that people took like carrier. But now they have added it to beast. So at max it's 13.5 meter companion gather link. Detects and collects items including mods. It just makes it easier for you. I mean, you don't have to take it, and you could take something else. Um, but I find it too useful to not take. I personally think it's a necessity, but again, not everyone does. So it's up to you. You decide. Um, you could always reform this, and it would be another forma. So it would be 9 formas, and take Maul instead, or some other damaging ability instead. So you could do that. You could also get like a lifesteal link, so like Hunter Recovery or Pack Leader. Those are both fantastic mods. So if you don't want Fetch or you don't want Animal Instinct, or if you don't want Bite and you don't care about the damage, take Pack Leader or Hunter Recovery or both. Um, Sharpened Claws is a good one too, but I still think Maul is better as a general mod. Is just going to be better. So it's up to you. There's plenty of things you can take, but I would suggest at least having one damage mod, at least. Um, and like I said, if you don't want Animal Instinct or you don't want Fetch, fit in another damage mod or another or a lifesteal mod. I mean, use what you think is best in situations. This is my build. This is what works for me. What works for me may not work for you. So just kind of go over the build, decide what you like, decide what you don't, decide if you even want to get it up to 8 or 9 formas. Um, Whatever you decide, that's fine. Just you know, it depends what you want your companion to be doing. There's a lot of options, and this is the options I went with. If you find a better way, you think that there's better mods, let me know. I'm curious what you guys would use over what I'm using. Um, but that being said, the build will be up on Overframe. I'll put a link down in the description. Um, and I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it helped. If you guys did like it, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more content like this, I do a video every Sunday for Warframe, and Thursday is kind of like my random game day. Uh, but there is a video every Thursday and Sunday, so if you want to see those, make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep a lookout for it. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.